Hi, and welcome to Your Future, Your Finances. I'm your host, Brian Kuhn. Got a great segment for you today. We're talking with Kip Gregory, who is a business consultant. I'm going to read your bio. For more than 25 years, Kip Gregory has devoted his career to helping sales teams quickly improve productivity and profitability using tools and resources they already own. Kip's book, Winning Clients in a Wired World, spells out hundreds of fast, easy-to-implement approaches to mining business intelligence. Prior to founding the consulting firm, Gregory Group, Kip spent 14 years building and managing distribution businesses for GE Capital and other financial services companies. Fantastic. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be with you, Brian.
I said you were a business consultant. You're really an individual consultant who also works with businesses. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us how you got involved in the work you're currently doing.
Well, it's a fascinating path for especially a guy who came out of college with a political science degree. I spent a year out of school in retail, which led me actually to join one of the pioneering companies in online shopping back in the mid-'80s. And my job there was to bring high-end catalogers onto an online mall and get them to list some of their products. We did that
online back then.
Exactly.
That was probably brand new.
It was, and in the 2400 baud days where you could literally watch things come across the screen as the text built. So it was fascinating, and it was obviously on the ground floor. After we did that, I moved over into the institutional selling side of that business and worked with large credit card banks selling membership services to their cardholders. And that led me to being recruited by a West Coast insurance and securities firm to open a regional office here. And over the course of the next 11 years, built a series of distribution businesses in the financial services industry. We were ultimately acquired by GE Capital and became the platform for what went public as Genworth.
Genworth, yep.
Yeah, so my embrace of technology was a reluctant one, and it was in large part due to a boss who was visionary about technologies and personal computing's role in the sales process. And the quick version is we built a sales forecasting tool to launch what was then a very large 100-person plus sales effort in one of the banks that we distributed product through. And through this modeling that we did in an old Lotus 123 spreadsheet, we made it profitable within the first 9 months of launch, and that's what caused my aha moment.
Now, we met through a couple public speaking events you did on LinkedIn, using LinkedIn to the best of its ability. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, LinkedIn, obviously, social media today has everybody's attention. It's still, for lots of people, the shiny toy. But there are really 3 reasons why we focus specifically on what I like to think of as social prospecting and selling. And that's first because businesses, no matter what industry they're in, really spend a lot of time trying to get more people, qualified prospects, into their pipeline.
Yeah, whether the internet exists or not, it's always the same goal, right?
And whether it's your business as a professional service firm or somebody who has repeat customers on a daily basis, it's really about how do I increase flow. And the challenge with social media is that most of the advice, the guidance out there, really gets at things that are what I call aspirational. So, it's develop a following, it's publish content, create a platform, become known as an opinion leader. And all of that's great advice, but you can't do anything quickly with that information. If I say, Brian, your goal today is to become a thought leader, what do you do? What are the 3 steps you're going to do when you walk out of here?
Probably just think a lot.
Exactly. And so what that leads to is the kind of the third piece, which is that people are stuck. Sure, they've got a profile. They're probably on LinkedIn. They may be on Facebook, Twitter, any of the other sites, but they're really frozen. They've got connections, they've got a profile, but they don't know what to do. And so we talk to them about how to make it relevant to their traditional prospecting and business development. and how to generate referrals and word of mouth.
So you said creating a profile. So LinkedIn, there's a profile that one can maintain, kind of like a bio of yourself. What's like the basics? What are people doing both right and not doing that they should be doing when they're managing their profile?
Well, LinkedIn will help you actually flesh out your profile. They're pretty good about telling you where you are on the spectrum. So for them to consider your profile complete, there are a series of ingredients. First, you include a photo, and my strong advice, encouragement to people is go out and get a professional one.
Yep.
Not your last holiday on the beach.
No, you catching a fish
right,
in the bio.
Right, with sunglasses and baseball cap. Second is to fill out a little bit of your work history, identify some skills that you have, and at least connect with 50 people. There are a couple other things, but that's generally what they will consider to be a complete profile. The broader question is, what are people then doing? And that's where it begins to fall apart, because most people make random connections. They don't think about who they're connecting with. They get an invitation and they accept, and there's no relationship there. So we talk with people about bringing your offline real life network online, and how to focus on the key relationships and do more listening. Don't worry so much about talking, but do more listening. Because that's what good salespeople do, is they listen and solve problems. It's not about just pushing your message out constantly.
Fantastic. We've got to take a break. We'll be right back with more sales ideas, online presence management. We're talking with Kip Gregory of the Gregory Group. We'll be right back. You're watching Your Future, Your Finances.